Alright, so I had an opportunity to take a look at a pair of Spy sunglasses, and, well, I had hoped for something considerably better than what I got. Yeah, not very pleased as a whole. So, to give you a quick idea, the box itself is actually very sturdy and the packaging looks really good, so it actually is done really well as far as the packaging goes. The user manual, they have a little QR code. You have a little mini CD. This is not going to be good for some people who have slot loading optical drives, so that might pose a problem. And then you have a pretty simple user manual, gives you some information. Not too bad. You have a micro, well, not really a micro or mini. It's sort of I guess it's proprietary. I don't know what that is. It's not your typical micro or mini USB. So you've got to keep up with that. To make sure you can charge your device. And of course, this is nice. I haven't even pulled the plastic off because I can just plug the USB directly in. But you can plug this into the wall, so this is nice to have. And it does come with a micro SD card adapter and a micro SD card. It's only 8 gigabytes, and you're probably going to want to use your own just because it's going to be better quality as far as the card. Lasts a lot longer. And it's just kind of tiny. 8 gigs is kind of tiny. So the glasses, I don't know. The glasses work great for sunglasses. I can tell you that. However, you can see how thick that portion right there is. That's because it's the little camera housing area, and I don't like that because that pushes against the bridge of your nose, and it puts the glasses further forward on my face than I would prefer with typical, sunglasses. So as sunglasses, as far as the lenses and the blocking of light, they actually look good. You really can't tell there's a camera. I mean, it's just a little circle, little dot, but I mean, it doesn't seem like much of anything. So unless somebody's really paying attention, it is going to work for the Spy aspect. But this part kind of pushes it off your face, and that's not really cool. The other thing I don't care for is, you see this little cover? You see this? You can see? Yeah, you can see this little cover. I don't like that because it gets in the way. It doesn't really want to stay pushed back up very well. It always wants to fall, as you can see. And it just doesn't work very well. So that could be improved on. The SD card, micro SD card, it slides into right like that. So getting that in and out, unless you have some fingernails or some tweezers or pliers, it's not going to be easy for everyone. It's not too bad for me, but I would have preferred more of a spring-loaded type on the side, or sort of like a SIM card for a phone, maybe on the inside. And that takes us to the inside here where the switch. This is your multifunction switch. I hate this. I hate it. It's on the inside, so you have to take the glasses, you have to turn it on and do things, and then, put it on your face, take it off your face, and do things. No. Why do that? I mean, it's to make it hidden, but this is the thing. If anybody cares, or if anybody's listening that makes these things or has anything to do with it, put a little slide switch on it so it's off and on, and it's very easy to know. You don't have to worry about this little tiny LED light. You can still have that, but I mean, make it slide back and forth. That's simple. And then put a very small button. You can have it recessed a little here. Have one for video and one for photo. That would be great, because it's really hard to do anything with this. I don't think it works out very well at all. They are a little bit thick in this area, but, that's not too big a deal, not too bad. It is definitely covert and hidden. So, my thoughts on this. Here. Maybe all 4. There. I'm going to throw up some different images. None of them are great, but I want to show you what the pictures that this produced look like, and they'll be somewhere in one of the 4 corners. I just haven't decided yet. Okay, the other thing, you need about an hour to charge this. That's not bad. the port cover sucks. We already talked about that. Runtime, well, I just left it running and recording. I wore them some, and then I just left them sitting in the car recording while I was hanging out at the local car meet. And all in, about an hour and a half of recording was capable. The SD card became kind of full. Because the quality is not good enough for me to bother with it, I'm not actually going to put one of my own cards in that's larger and try to record for longer, because I'll probably never use these again. I had hoped to, but I'm not very happy with them. The image quality, as far as the pictures, it's okay. Kind of reminds me of like older cell phones before cameras in phones became so capable and so good. So definitely not happy about that. The resolution, you're only going to do 640 by 480. That's not very good. Not very impressive at all. But if you buy it going in knowing that, and you don't have expectations better than that, okay, then that's cool. 30 frames a second, that's pretty cool. That's actually really good, because you're gonna get a decent picture in terms of the frames per second as far as motion and everything. So that's not a big deal, not a bad problem. The color reproduction on it, I'm gonna say it's overly saturated, and at least a little in some areas. Sometimes it looks washed out or oversaturated, or both. It just depends with the pictures and the video. So not happy about that as a whole. The audio kind of, it's not too bad. I've had a lot worse, so it's definitely not great. I'm not very happy about it. But if you're just doing this for fun, that's cool. I can get with that. But you're not going to want to use these on a routine basis. I don't think you will. If you want to just wear them as sunglasses, perfectly good option to do so. But all of this comes down to the fact that for me to use the included card, 8 gigabytes, get an hour and a half of recording, not really like the video as a whole, not really care for the audio too much. Like I said, I've seen a lot worse, but I've seen far better with a lot of different cameras. So the usability overall with this single button design, I didn't even realize some of the time that when I had it on, I didn't notice the LED. It was too bright outside, so that didn't work out all that great. Yeah, so I probably wouldn't, or not probably, I wouldn't recommend this to other people unless you're willing to buy it as a gimmicky toy type thing. But the problem with that is it's $70 right now. This is, I'm going to say $19.99 at best, and it probably doesn't cost that to make with everything included. But I don't know. I don't like it. I'm not really impressed with it. The video quality is inferior, the audio is inferior, the images, pictures, inferior, every aspect of it, except for the lens's ability to block the sunlight. That's not bad. Everything else about it, kind of a loss. Not really happy with it, especially for the price. So whether you like it or not, personal opinion, but yeah, they're not for me. I have another pair, a little different than this, did a little bit nicer job. So these are definitely not something I will care about or use again. Okay, well, that's pretty much it. I'll throw the video in. Just throw it in at the end, and you can check that out and see. There's about 2 minutes of footage. So that's it. I didn't set the timer date because I didn't care, and I still don't. It does timestamp automatically. There is instructions and information on how you can actually have the time show up properly, but it's not important to me. So you'll see a time and a date that are inaccurate. That's pretty much it. Okay? Check out the 2 minutes of video, roughly. Straight from these. No editing, processing of any type. And you can see what that looks like. And the images as well. Like I said, I'll throw those in. That's pretty much it. Okay? Thanks.